Hello, everyone. And what is up, guys? Ashton here, and we are live for an emergency severe weather briefing this morning as we have an enhanced risk today. Buckle up, everyone. We have an enhanced risk today for Oklahoma. Yes, right here, in Oklahoma, guys. It's getting exciting. Well, let me see where my hat went. Let me drink here before we do anything. No, I need to gargle. Take an allergy pill real quick because my allergies are going nuts, and then we'll get started here. Just give me one sec, sorry. Should have done this before I started, but my throat decided just to. We'll get started here. Much better. All right. All right. There we go. Alrighty. Let me turn my volume on my stream down. Alright. As you can see, here we go. National Weather Service and the Storm Prediction Center has issued an enhanced risk today for over 3.5 million people, mostly in central Oklahoma, a little bit up here in Kansas, but that's mostly for hail, but I don't think that'll even do it up there. But here we go. We have scattered to severe thunderstorms are expected across the evening across the Great Plains Center on Kansas and Oklahoma. The greatest threat for a couple strong tornadic supercells should occur across central Oklahoma between 5 to 9 p.m. That, my friends, that is the magic hour for strong tornadoes in Oklahoma, especially central Oklahoma. And you know what those were. Obviously, pretty much every strong to violent tornado in central Oklahoma has occurred in that time frame. Let's just go into the synopsis here. We got pronounced mid-level low over the Raton Mesa will occur due to the weekend. Low top supercells will become increasingly probable. I think that's more think about Kansas and stuff. But a more volatile supercell environment should develop ahead of the dry line in the western to central Oklahoma. A pronounced gradient in the ML Cape is likely through late afternoon to early evening, with robust boundary layer heating post dry line occurs in Texas, while a plume of richer moisture vex north ahead of it. This should support ML Cape reaching 1,500 near the Oklahoma-Kansas border to 3,500 along the Red River. Now, this is why I don't think Kansas will do it, because that's not enough Cape, and the storms don't look great in Kansas. We'll get into that. While a 500 millibar jetlit what in the world? over the southern high plains will be in overall weakening state, it is favorably timed eastward, translating across the drylands to support sustained supercells. Upper level wind fields will weaken with height, and the bulk of the hodograph will consist in enlarged curvature hodographs from the 0 to 3 kilometer. This suggests supercells should tend to be HP in character, with a slow-moving cluster-type evolution, especially with the southern extent into North Texas. Guidance has a bit more consistency with a moderate increase in low-level flow this evening, supporting a strong tornado threat with the most intense supercells over central Oklahoma. Excuse me. A small MCS-embedded supercell cluster will probably persist into eastern Oklahoma before eventually weakening. Oh, that is music to my ears, but also very worrying for central Oklahoma, as central Oklahoma is very notorious for strong to violent tornadoes, especially in areas you don't want. But here is our tornado threat. As you can see, we already have this is barely just got updated probably an hour and a half ago. So this is really recent, guys. So we have a 10% SIG hatch area. It used to be all the way up basically to Garden City, but now they're seeing more that it is likely to be central Oklahoma. So as you can see, the entirety of central Oklahoma and a little bit into southern Kansas is now in this enhanced significant tornado hatch risk area for 10% chance of a significant tornado given 25 miles. But I, Mike Morgan issued his own moderate risk, and I am also issuing my own moderate risk because it just looks incredibly like it's a very volatile environment, guys. I'm not kidding. I'm not trying to hide this from you. I'm trying to just make you guys aware that today is a pretty big day for severe weather across central Oklahoma. Wind threat is not that bad. Mostly, it's going to be mostly up here because of the MCS line with those little tiny cells that form. But the reason why this is right here is for the stronger supercells. So it's a little bit of a mixed layer here. So you do have a 10% over here, but this I believe is mostly for some QLCS tornadoes, maybe some land spouts and stuff out here. Maybe a chance for a supercell, but I doubt it. This is why you have this bigger hatch risk down here for the stronger supercells and tornadoes, and as well as you have the wind here for the stronger supercells. And we have also have the hail. The hail risk is now at 30% SIG. It's been that way, but the reason why it's all the way 30 up here is because you're going to have some stronger like embedded supercells in this line that have some bigger hail. Just like yesterday up in Colorado where you had some of those embedded cells that had some giant hail. But down here, right here, this is where you're going to get probably the softball plus size hail. I'm thinking we're going to get some softballs out here in central Oklahoma, which we are going to be trying to avoid today because, for one, first off, we are possibly, I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but as of right now, it's looking likely we'll be chasing with Brad Arnold today, but there's the chance that we don't. If not, no worries. We're going to chase it either way. But either way, we do not want to mess with softball-sized hail. If we take shelter, yes, but still, I don't want to mess with softballs. Even though I've haven't broken the windshield yet, I would definitely not today because today is going to be a great chase. Yeah. So there's that. Let me just go into our lovely Norman office and show you what we're talking about. There's your tornado probabilities, medium all across central Oklahoma. There's our baseball-sized hail, 60 to 80 mile-an-hour winds. Here's our tornado potential. Highest confidence is here over the OKC I-35 corridor, just a little bit west of the Highway 81 corridor out in OKC. And here's our timing. We have 3 p.m. looks like initiation out here somewhere south of Clinton probably, or at least along Clinton's extent, north to south from the line that Clinton makes. If you draw a straight line across Oklahoma from Clinton north to south, that's probably where our initiation zone is going to be, right in this area right here. But definitely OKC Metro and Norman Moore. Your timing's probably going to be around 7 o'clock is what I'm thinking. Probably 7 p.m. is probably where you're going to see them. And I believe this is when the storms are actually going to be their strongest and most mature stage, which is not something you like to hear. And then actually tomorrow is looking also pretty good for some gorilla hail maybe. I'm not going to jump into tomorrow because today is more pressing. Tomorrow is just going to be hail. I don't see any real tornado threat, but definitely if you live anywhere just anywhere today, like anywhere, probably not really in the marginal, but definitely if you live in the eastern half of the slight risk and anywhere in the enhanced risk, and even all the way out into some portions of maybe the Tulsa Metro, even in to eastern Oklahoma, definitely please be on the lookout today and probably into the very early morning hours like midnight, 1 a.m. for some chances for some tornadoes and maybe a few strong to violent long track tornadoes. Definitely be watching that. So yeah, now we're going to jump into the models. The models are very spicy today. Hold up, let me make sure I'm not on the showing you guys any secrets yet with the models. So be right back. Let me switch this over. All right, we're not gonna do, okay, so lately, I am not doing the NAM anymore. The NAM, we'll try the 3K, but just the NAM is not doing it for us anymore. It's just not good. We're gonna start off with our temperatures. Let's go here. So we're going to start with HRRR. All right, here we go. Back. As you see right now here in central Oklahoma, we're in the mid to upper 60s. I think there's some low 70s right now, as this was the 12Z. We are at, let me actually check my phone. We should have surface analysis right now. We're also going to be checking some surface-based analysis now, because I'm learning that we need to be checking that a lot more. So yeah, right now we have it is 66 here in Norman with 63 dew points. There are some 70s starting to creep into southern Oklahoma, and we have 70 over 66 down in Durant, and 66 over 63 down in Ardmore, 65 over 64 in Duncan. There is some morning convection happening down towards Lawton. There's some, it's not like strong, but there's definitely a lot of lightning and a lot of rain with it. I don't see this having really any effect on anything today. As you can tell, I'll tell you this, that behind this, everything is recovering from this little morning convection blob, because it just came out of Childress, and in Childress we have 63 over 61. So obviously the environment is maintaining, if not recovering, already. And we also we have 71 over 71 in Abilene. Not Abilene, Breckenridge, excuse me. Abilene is 71 over 68. So all this moisture is going to be just pumping straight up the US 83 and 277 corridor. It's going to pump right up into western Oklahoma near Clinton. Like I said, that's going to be where your initiation zone is going to be happening. So we're going to be checking some surface-based analysis after we look at the models for the future. All right, so here we are. Here's our temperatures. The temperatures should be reaching the mid to upper 80s today. I think, actually, probably low to mid 80s. I don't think it'll get upper 80s unless you're down in, like, west of the dry line, out in like Elk City or Guyman or Shamrock, Texas and stuff. But here comes your definitely very warm, moist air from the Gulf. Here it comes. You'll see that dry line start setting up. Here it comes. And boom, there's your, you have your dry line right there. There's your dry line right here. Got a little bit of a cool pocket out here in western Oklahoma, but I don't think that's going to really have any issues. I think this is actually because these are where storms are, probably. But you can see, there you go. You got some 80s creeping up here in central Oklahoma. And by the time storms, you see these right here, those are your storms. You can even see it on temperature, that is really impressive that you can see it on the temperature. And you can see them just having eaten away at some of this warmer, moist air. And look at that. You're going to get up to probably 80, close, almost to 85 degrees here in the OKC metro area and just south along I-35. So anywhere probably up to, let's see, Stillwater, anywhere south of Stillwater along I-35, Guthrie, you're in the 80s, which is where it needs to be if you're looking for tornadoes today. Especially some stronger tornadoes, but I do not want any strong tornadoes happening over populated areas, especially the OKC metro today. I'd rather these things be happening out in the open fields, out in western Oklahoma, but that ain't looking likely today. It's not looking great for people. But yeah, look at that. You got some really nice dry air behind this. Mid 80s out here in the Texas Panhandle, a little bit south towards Childress, Abilene. You got 93, 95 degrees ish, and look at that, big time. And then you see the cold front is actually crashing into this, and it's actually, there is no, my bad, not the cold front. You see, there's just a lot of cooler air up here in Kansas. That's why I don't like the Kansas target, just because, you know, there's so much cooler air. And we're gonna check. Here's our dew points right now. As you can see, we got some 66, 67 dew points down southeastern Oklahoma. But look at that. This is the dews right now. Like, the dews have been in the 60s for the past few days, and it's been just sitting. It's like a sticky sponge. It's been a moist, warm, moist sponge that you just leave out, and it's just has humidity. It's like a sweating sponge. That sounds disgusting, but it's the best analogy I can give you right now. And then here comes your dry line, and look at the dry line bulge. You got a dry line bulge right there. There's your dry line bulge right here. Actually, no, excuse me. Dry line bulge is going to be, there you go, right there, across northern Oklahoma. But your best, look at that. This is at the best time for storms. Look at that. You got 72 dew points creeping in to the southwestern OKC metro, down towards Chickasha and Anadarko and stuff. You got 72 dew points. Let's just take a quick sounding from right there and just show you. Okay, it's not great. That's not a great sounding. We got to be a little bit further. Be a little bit further inward. Actually, let's take it right along the dry line. Hold on. Okay, so actually that'll be right here then. Yeah, there you go. That's, I mean, it's contaminated, but you know, you get the point. It's very, very, it's a very unstable environment out here. Now let's go to your 500 millibar. Let's work our way down. So right here we got 500 millibar. As you can see, here comes your, it looks almost like a bowling ball trough ejection, even though it's not really a trough ejection. It's just more of a jet stream storm. But look at that. There's your trough. 0 to Z, 6 o'clock. You got 40, 50 knots. And this, for being like a jet stream storm, this is actually really decent if you're looking for some stronger storms. Because this omega block, you know, you got your omega block out here. And for this, being able to go around or penetrate this omega block is really impressive for it to be this strong still. And we're going to get the storms that we're supposed to be getting. Now here's your 700 millibar. As you can see, there's your 700. Oh, that's tomorrow actually, but here's today. Look at that. There's your, right there. Look at these little pockets here. These little pockets right here, that's your supercells. That is your storm environment. Nasty looking environment for some big time supercells. I mean, look at that. Great photograph. You know, there's contamination everywhere right now, but there you go. There's a good sounding. Yeah. Nasty looking classic tornado alley, classic central Oklahoma storm. Here's your 850. 850 with the further you get into the evening night, the better the low level jet will be, and the better chance for some stronger shear and tornadoes. As you can see right here, there's your 0Z. You know, it's not great, but this is a much better improvement from yesterday and the day before. Like the first HRRR runs were barely showing any shear and low level winds. They were showing probably like 10, 15 knots. Now we're almost up to 40 knots, which just shows that this could turn into something nasty today. And let's go to our upper air dynamics. Here's our temperature invections. As you can tell, you're gonna have your surface low out here, but just give it a little while. Watch this. Boom. Right there. There you go, right here. Oops. There, right there. There you go. There is your temperature advection with the kinematics. That right there, that is where you're going to see your supercells at. And possibly, maybe a little bit up here. It's not looking likely now up there. Let's go check out our cape. Actually, let's check out our shear values first, because that deals more with our wind values. You can see winds are streaming. You got all this air down. You see all this down here? Clashing air masses that are moving up together. You see on the right side right here? That's your warm, moist air coming up from the Gulf of Mexico. And you got the dry air from the dry line pushing out from the Rockies and New Mexico. Coming in together. Boom. There you go. There's your tornado outbreak possible. this afternoon into evening. And here it comes. There's your shear values right there. Look at that. Here comes your shear, moving along the dry line, and boom. See all this? All these could be possibly supercells. 48 knots of shear. Oh, that's 0 to 6. Okay, that's 0 to 6. Okay, let's check the 0 to 1. Let's check the 0 to 1. I was checking 0 to 6. Okay. Here's your 0 to 1. Yep. Oh my gosh. Whoa. That is just south of Norman. 66 knots of 0 to 1. I know it's a little bit contaminated, but 66 0 to 1 shear that's pretty impressive, guys. And I mean, look at all these. These little pockets right here. These are your supercells that are forming, and you can see. Look up here. These are all the ones that are supposed to be forming in Kansas. They're already up in Nebraska, basically. I mean, maybe there's a little bit of reinvigoration out here, but I don't see it happening. I see just all-out action down here in Oklahoma. I know I have a little bias because I live here in Oklahoma, but this is just what I'm thinking. I think it's just going to be Oklahoma. Maybe something in Kansas if it gets up there, but all the main event is going to be down here in Oklahoma. Here we go for a surface-based cape. You can see the dry line working its way, and boom, there is your dry line. You have there's your dry line bulge right here. You got 2 to 3,000 cape right here, 3,500 cape just west of the metro. And yeah, there is your scary looking photograph. Deviant mover, you can tell, definitely a deviant mover. A little bit. Let's check a little bit further in. Just you can see that those have some deviant storm motions. Some of that moisture will, it'll be eaten up by these supercells, but it also pushes a lot of it east with it, and just helps these storms just maintain their strength. And that's a pretty good sounding right there. I mean, classic enlarged curve photographs for Tornado Alley. So looking pretty good. And along the Red River down here, you even got closer to over 4,000 cape down here, close to the Red River, and that's wow. Yeah, that is a pretty dang good sounding. I mean, not for like sheer and low levels, but I mean, like that's just a decent sounding for the environment, at least, out ahead of these things. But let's just check the cap. I don't think there's going to be that strong of a cap. Yeah, there's stronger cap down by the Red River, but that's because that's where the cutoff is. Because anywhere north of that, you're just going to have. I mean, it's going to lift. It's going to sag a little bit to the north, but that's because these clouds up out here in Oklahoma, they're going to start clearing here, and there you got your dry line right there, and then you got no cap, absolutely no cap until after dark, which is typical, but it really won't matter for the cap. It'll be far east of it, and it'll just go, is what I'm saying. Let's just check our lapse rates here. We want to be seeing if there's any 8s close to the 8 degrees Celsius kilometer is that's a good lapse rate, guys. If you want good lapse rates, you want about 8. So 7. You know what? Actually, in this regard, with this chase, because of it not being, your classic dry line with no omega block or anything, this right here will actually be pretty sufficient enough, actually, for supercellular development, especially. Yeah, that'll be fine. There's no worries with that. Let's just go to the LCL height. I know these things are going to be surface based, but just how surface based are they going to be? I know that they are going to be high precip storms because I don't see very good venting. There is some venting, so there might be a few instances where It goes in and out of rain wrapped, but it'll be mostly rain wrapped, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see into these storms. But I do believe that we're going to have some decent storms, at least photogenic. Maybe not like the photogenic with a good visual on bases, but definitely going to have just overall great visual on the structure. But look at that, you got some very low surface-based LCL heights there, just about a kilometer, maybe a kilometer or two off the ground, so that's good. Let's go to our helicity values. Helicity values are going to be in the couple hundred range, not insane, but it'll be just perfect for tornadoes today. There you go. Yep, there's your helicity blobs. It's not like a big blob, like a big, pocket of helicity. It's, these little helicity values that just go up to like 500 right here, just south of me, down near Chickasha. See that right there? Big time tornado. Very contaminated though. But just go a little bit further east, and there you go. There's your very dangerous hodograph. That is a danger noodle, people. Got to be watching out for this. But yeah, we're going to have helicity values up to probably around 300 meters squared per second squared. Energy helicity is going to be, it's going to be pretty decent actually, I think, especially with right as the convection starts going, and then once these things really get going, right before 6 o'clock, right before it hits I-35, you just get some insane development here, and that's nice sounding too. But there could be a little bit more, definitely a little bit more low-level shear, but I think we'll be fine. Because April 19th, if you guys remember that, it looked like nothing, and then literally 2 hours before, it became something very, very extreme. So we'll see how it evolves. We still have to wait for the 18Z model run before anything really happens. So we gotta wait for 18Z to see really. But here we go. Actually, let's go check your. Let's just check your hodographs, like your hodograph map, real quick. Let's just go show you that. And here you go. Big time. There you go. There's your elongated, curved hodographs here across central Oklahoma. I mean, you see those ones up in Kansas? Those are just really fast northeast movers. These are going to be do-right movers, which is and also deviant in nature. So that's going to be really good for. I mean, that'll make these storms very tornadic, guys. It's. I mean, yeah, look at that, very tornadic looking hodograph. All right, now let's just go to our supercell composite. Supercell composite's not as like exciting as it was yesterday, but I mean, it's the 12Z morning day of run. It's not going to be the best, but it also isn't going to be the worst. You see, there's your supercell. Here you see where this southwest Kansas. This is. I don't see this happening. I'll just show you the environment out here. I mean, it's not great. You see, look at that. You got 19, 0 to 1 kilometers here. You got 35, 0 to 3. Just not the greatest. And also, you got 68. I mean, 68 over 64 is not bad, but you also aren't going to have as much heating up there as you do down here, and you can see that by look at the supercell values. See these little supercell pocket values? That's where you're going to get your big. Whoa, 4,000 cape on this one. That is nice. Wow. Yeah, and then here it goes. Keeps tracking east along I-35. Still have your big time supercell composite parameters here. Just keeps going, keeps following east, and yeah, there you go. So yeah, definitely prime tornado time, 5 to 9 p.m. tonight for Oklahoma. Let's check our SIGTOR. The SIGTOR is actually favoring southwest Kansas, but I don't see why. I legit don't see why. I mean, look at that. That's at 6 o'clock. I don't see that happening unless, something magical happens there. Because the environment there is not great. But I mean, there is some. Let me just go back to the Cape values to see why it's showing that. Yeah, you got a little bit of a notch right there in that dry line, but I don't. Yeah, I don't really like this environment in Southwest Kansas. So let's go back to our SIG tour. And then there you go. There's your SIG tour. I don't see this happening right here. I mean, that's a decent photograph. There's 67 or 64. That I don't see it happening there. But let's just go down here. See here. Yesterday, the SIG tour parameters were off the hook. I mean, they were nuts. Okay, there we go. That's the photograph you're looking for. There you go. That's the one you want. Pretty decent SIG tour values there. And then those SIG tour values keep dragging east. See, it moves around the OKC metro. Maybe because there's that reinvigoration behind it is what the HRRR was showing. That you'll actually get maybe a little bit more behind it, but I don't know for sure. But let's go check our updraft felicity. This is the 0-3 because these things are going to be surface based, so this will definitely show some pretty interesting looking stuff here. And there you go. There's your long tracks right there moving across Oklahoma. Let me just go show you the environment ahead of these things. So let's go take Southern Cleveland County, for example. Boom. 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 Yeah, you're just going to take tornado soundings off the hook out of this one. There's your updraft felicities. Let's just check the 2 to 5 just to see exactly what we're looking at. There's the 2 to 5 kilometer updraft felicity run. Looks pretty decent. All right, now let's actually go back to let's go see what it's showing on satellite. And there's your morning convection right now. But wait for this, and then this thing will just absolutely disappear. And whoa. Wow. Negative 70 degrees Celsius for the simulated. Wow. That is a monster supercell, guys. Those are some monster supercells that form. Wow. And that's simulated satellite. That's just crazy. Here comes our I'm going to show you guys this. There's that morning convection. You see that? Disappears completely. Then you got some cells forming out here in southwest Kansas. I don't see anything happening with those. I mean, look at that. They look, maybe this one right here has something, but it don't have anything actually. But just wait until you see. Let's go back. Here we go. 23Z. Your initiation looks like it's going to be looks like El Reno to be at least just west of El Reno. And boom, here comes the metro. Look at that. This is at 0Z, 6 o'clock, 5 or 6 o'clock. This is where you get just, ooh, boy. Yeah. That is Norman, OKC, Moore. This storm will head likely into Moore and Norman. maybe OKC, but literally anywhere along the whole I-35 corridor is gonna light up like a Christmas tree with supercells, and it don't look good. I mean, look at that, and then they start to combine together into some big gigantic things, and whoo doggy, it's a big day ahead for Oklahoma here, and wow, look at those. Look at those supercells, and these ones, those ones just keep going. They start moving a little bit southeast, but then they get caught up in something down here and start moving back to the east and east northeast. But man, those are some. And here, let me show you what I was talking about with that reinvigoration back here after like midnight. You see, remember how I was showing you that SIG-TOR values? Watch a little bit. Watch around midnight. You see that? Remember that little SIG-TOR blob that just came back? I think that's what it's showing with this thing. That's going towards Tecumseh and stuff. Yeah, that's that little supercell that's going there. But that's the HRRR. Looks very decent. And then here comes. This is tomorrow actually. Yeah, you may see some slight guerrilla hail south of here tomorrow. Let me just check the environment. See what's going on there. Yeah, maybe there's some. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's more of a guerrilla hail protograph than anything. But definitely, if you want to chase in, I'd say definitely chase in, Kansas City area, south of Des Moines, southwest of Des Moines tomorrow. If you're doing it, definitely going to be good for that. Now let's go to the RFFS. The RFFS is a newer model that we've been seeing lately. RFFS looks actually pretty decent. Let me just go show you what. Let's do a quick just run through. We're not going to spend too much time because I got to get out of here pretty soon and get ready to go. So here's our temperatures. See that big time dry line bulge, and still showing, lower to mid 80s, and especially maybe some lower to mid 90s down west of the dry line, which is pretty good. Here's our dew points. RFFS I can't take any soundings, but I'll definitely tell you that there was a PDS sounding just west of El Reno earlier, was what I was seeing. And here comes our. Let's see, is this 9Z? Okay, we're still at 9Z, but this still goes out all the way to basically time. And yeah, it's a little bit south of I-40 corridor, but either way, it's still showing. Look at that, 70s dew points, like low 70 dew points, which is more than sufficient. Let's go to your temperature with. Let's go to our wind barbs and wind heights. 500. They're showing the 500 a little bit stronger actually than the HRRR. And then you got 750. Not seven, just 700. There you go. There's your pockets of supercells. 850 millibar. And 850 is probably going to be pretty nuts for RFFS. Get rid of this, add bar. Yeah, look at that. Really nice. Let's go to our Cape. There's your dryline bulge. The RFFS really shows the dryline bulge much more pronounced than the HRRR is. And right there, you still got those 3,500 Cape values. You even got almost close to 6,000 down here in Texas. It shows how unstable this environment is. Here's your cap. As I said, no cap whatsoever. Let's just go check the shear. Let me see what the shear value is saying. Shear values should be pretty decent. Yeah, there you go. Nice shear values. Helicity values are going to be pretty decent as well. Let's go a little bit further. There you go. There's your helicity value. Still, it's still showing right here. It is definitely showing right here. Chickasha. Chickasha is looking like actually maybe the target area for today, or at least somewhere south of I-40. I don't know about north. We don't want to be too far north in case something does go through Norman, but I don't want that to happen again. Here's our energy helicity index. Really strong. It's showing right here, Chickasha. I'm telling you guys, 10.0. Chickasha is looking like the spot to be today, guys. along Highway 81. Magic Highway 81, guys. Looks like the place to be if you want your storms. Here's our supercell composite, showing really high supercell composite values right here. It's really trying to hint that something right here is going to go off and try moving toward the metro, maybe. And here's our SIG-TOR parameters. SIG-TOR parameters, from what I saw earlier, it's really high. Yeah, there you go, right there. There you go. Big time SIG-TOR parameters, 4.7. Look at that. 5.9. It's hinting at Chickasha, guys. It really is hitting at Chickasha for something happening. Wow, look at those. Yeah, it wants something to happen there. And then there's your photographs. Oh, those are nasty photographs, guys. We go to composite, and then we're gonna have to get out of here pretty soon. Chase mode will be activated. Here it comes. Here you go. I mean, RFFS is showing a little bit more, a little bit bigger swarms down here, but then again, not really. But here they come, guys. Here come the big ones. Wow. That is a monster. Excuse me. What are you trying to do here? I'm questioning. Is this thing trying to do an El Reno type supercell? Like, what is this gigantic blob? It looks like a parasite on my screen. That thing is huge. I mean, oh yeah, you want to do the 20-mile wide wedge down here. No, but I mean, it looks. Okay, yeah, there's that reinvigoration right there behind the line at 9 o'clock. This RFFS wants something to happen right here. It's showing the storm right here. So we will see what happens, guys. Actually, I didn't realize they had simulated our infrared. Let's check this. Is that just one? That just shows like one giant storm right there, which is wow. All right, let's just check our surface-based analysis. Check our surface analysis. Yeah, we got our low right there. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to go into surface-based analysis because I have to get out of here, guys. But, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today. Please like, subscribe. I will likely be streaming this. If not, who knows? But I may or may not be chasing Brad Arnold today. We'll see what happens. He's still got a couple hour drive to get down here if he is chasing down here, or if he's staying put in Garden City or Dodge, wherever he is. But either way, yeah, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Stay tuned for a possible stream today of this severe weather event. Please make sure you guys anywhere in this enhanced, especially anywhere in slight to the enhanced risk, especially across central Oklahoma, please be paying attention to the weather today because it's going to get nasty later this afternoon to the early evening. But yeah, we're going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for watching. Never stop chasing. I'll see you guys